Welcome back to Heroes in Might and Magic 3, where we're continuing our scenario, our random map scenario, showcasing the Necropolis with the Necromancer and the Death Knight hero types. This was a random large map that we generated with 4 computer players. One's been eliminated already, so there's just us and 3 other computer players at this stage. There is a lower level to the map that we've not yet explored. But let's continue. We are in the beginning or the middle of month 3. Let's get to it. And just to show where we were before, we just took this castle here using our individual here, Nagash, who's pretty weak. They're really just we're just using this particular hero to uncover shadowed areas of the map. And we know that there's another hero kind of in here that we can't see who's a lot stronger than us, and he's probably just going to take this castle back. And what we want to do is, if we get attacked, which is why I'm not sitting in the castle, is to run away, because that's what we're going to probably have to do. But what I would like to do is pick up another character, make sure we don't leave anything in here, and give this to him. Just help him maybe survive what will be this initial attack, since we know that he's probably going to be attacked and he's probably going to die. We just need to make it one round where we can run away, and so that's what we're going to do there, and use our new character to just bail and go from here before we start our turn. Well, let's see if I was right. Yep, there he is. Now let's have a look at this guy to see how tough he is. We have to actually do the fight in order to run away with our troops if we can. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, as you can see here, the enemy player has 4 black dragons, some manticores, some minotaurs. There's no chance in heck of winning this fight. All I need to do is survive enough, like now, to get 1 turn. I have no spell points. I'm pretty weak compared to him. Realistically, I'm just getting out of here, so I'm going to surrender. There's 2 options. I could surrender or I could retreat. If I retreat, I lose all these units. If I surrender, I have to pay a fee, but I get to keep any units that I have with me. I prefer doing that if possible, so that's what I'm going to do. And you'll see here, I can now go back to my Necropolis, and I could hire my Necromancer, which I want to do because Nagash is a level 5 Necromancer, which is better than starting from scratch. So that's what we're going to do. Again, reminder, this is our main character, Septinia, and really her claim is that she's a necromancer with a pretty powerful death ripple capability. This death ripple spell damages all living creatures on the map, so that's her primary attack. And my strategy with her is to maintain a fairly good stack of vampires. Those vampires are how I will win most of the fights that I'm in, and just showcasing that particular unit type, which has a resurrection kind of capability, or reanimation capability, which I'll show you. Where we left off, she's heading back to the castle here, my main castle, to pick up some more vampires and to get some more spells. I've gotten some more spells available at that town by increasing my magic tower, which I'll show you in a minute. This is my other main character, which is Isra. They are a unit collector, map explorer. He's a Death Knight, and so I will just show you him. His job is really just destroying all these lower level units that are sitting on the map, building his army of skeletons. His specialty is necromancy. He's a level 11th Death Knight. His focus is on really moving abilities, attack or defense abilities, and some diplomacy, so that we could potentially pick up more units down the road if possible. And just continuing, again, he's just exploring. His job is to try to uncover this upper portion of the map, because we do need to do that. So again, he's just continuing to collect and attack. These are just supporting characters that I have from the game. And so I have another Death Knight. I did own this castle here. My job for this video is to try to get back what's rightfully mine, and that's this manufactory, this town type. It was taken over by Orange. He's pretty tough. I need to get him back, but I need to use Septima to do that. And so our goal for this video is to reach the point where we achieve that, hopefully in the next week. So let's find out. So these other characters, like Charna, he was in that castle. He was just a protector for that castle, but he had to flee because, frankly, he was just too weak. So he's just running around collecting skeletons and picking up some items on the map just to help. But that's it. That's his job. And so we're going to just keep going. This Death Knight that we just picked up really has no purpose then other than to perhaps I'll try to uncover this dark area, but I fully expect he'll get destroyed sooner than later. And again, looking back at our main town, this is our Necropolis. We've built up everything here. The only thing left to do is to move our Mage Guild level to a level 5. And you can see here what spells we have available. I now have Chain Lightning and Counter-Strike. I want to show you a strategy with vampires where Counter-Strike is an incredibly powerful spell to use. While it is a somewhat defensive spell, when used with vampires, it's about one of the best spells that you can have for them, as you'll see. And let's just continue on. So you can see blue is still up there. Here comes orange. Now blue's castle used to be orange's, so I could kind of envision orange wanting to go and try to get that back. Let's see if that's what he does. I need to get into this castle here, so Ezra's Nagash has got to move out of there. He'll just come over here and collect a few things. You can see he's not visited some of these magic towers that I have. These School of Magics increase his spell capabilities or knowledge capabilities. Knowledge gives you more spell points. So he's going to go and do those while he's waiting for a castle to defend. And she's just going to come here. That's what her goal is. And Isra's just going to continue traveling on the map. I have the HD Plus add-on for Heroes of Might and Magic 3. This is a free add-on. It's developed by the community. You should have a look at that if you like. There's one of the couple of new skills that are available that I like, certainly for these Death Knight characters, is Basic Interference. Now, Basic Interference, I'll just highlight that. What it does is if you're fighting when you're fighting another character, it reduces their power skill level, so it reduces the effectiveness of their spells that are used against me. And at the very basic level, it's 10%. And of course, at advanced and expert, it goes as high as 30%, which is quite helpful for your fighting type characters that perhaps aren't so strong with magic. So I'm going to pick up this skill. And we continue to raise more skeletons, as you see. Looks like someone's already been here and searched those crypts, so there's nothing in there for us. Charna's just going to continue. I see that these have not been searched, so perhaps he will do that, and we'll just keep going. Again, we're just collecting. You might as well come down here, uncover these towers, pick up some extra skills, and continue. He's not very strong. It's possible I could take this unit. We're going to try and see what we can do. Let's try to fight both of these while we're here. In terms of spell wise, in order for me to upgrade this to level 5, which I wouldn't mind doing, I need pretty much 10 of all of the resource types at least. I'm short on crystal, so it doesn't look like I'll be able to upgrade in order to do that. One of the things I could do though is I could exchange perhaps some wood for a couple crystal. So I'm going to do that. Now I have 10 crystal and I can upgrade this. Let's see what additional spells we picked up. Great, we picked up Implosion. It's a really great level 5 spell, and maybe we'll see that in action a little bit later. So just continuing. Blue's on the move. There's orange. Let's see here. Orange is down here in the map, so he's in my area. Ooh, this is Orin. This is the strongest of the orange players at the moment. This is the one who took over the tower town that I had. He has a stack of 8 angels, unless he lost them. They're 8 archangels, which makes him a pretty powerful army, and he's got quite a few actually of his griffins and his knights and archers, so I'm not quite powerful enough to touch him. So continuing on, Septima's coming in here. She will upgrade a couple of her units, but the main reason she's here is to pick up these vampires. So let's do that. And then I think the other thing I want to do is just give her some tough defensive characters or offensive characters as well. The Death Knights are pretty strong. They're the second strongest character here. I'm going to give her those. I like those even more so actually than the dragon. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to learn these spells. I've already got full spell power, so there's no real reason for me to stick around here. I'm going to start heading towards that tower and see if I can't take it over by the end of the week. And continuing on here with Isra, we're moving forward. We're going to take a look at these crypts, see if they're searched. They've already been searched, so we're just going to continue. Next up is Charna. Again, he's coming back here. He's going to pick up that spell. He can't really cast them. He does have one spell capability, which is, at least it's air magic. As I said in an earlier video, I like all of my, hand-to-hand type heroes like Death Knights to have at least basic wisdom and one school of magic. Usually, I like that to be either earth magic or air magic. So let's do that. We'll pick that up. And for him, I'm going to give him some of these skeletons because I've noticed that on the map these have been visited. These crypts are visited. This has yet to be visited. This crypt is not visited, and this graveyard or churchyard is not visited. So let's use him to go do that and see what we find. We'll continue with Clavius. So he won that battle. He wasn't able to win that battle, so he lost that one. What I should have done is, instead of accepting those results, is I should have done the battle myself, because generally I fare better than the computer fares if I let him do it for me. Okay, continuing with Nagash. Again, all Nagash is doing is collecting some stats increases, which we can do at these schools of magic. There's Orange. Yep, and as predicted, Orange wants his castle back. This was his until Blue took it over. I'm glad he's going there because that's the strongest Orange army, and Blue has a pretty strong army as well, and I'd rather they fight each other than have me do it. I'm going to kind of wait here, and I am continuing to collect more skeletons. Let's see what's up here. This crypt, Charna is a big enough level, and he's got dragons. He can easily take out crypts. Crypts are generally pretty easy, so you can see picked up that fairly easily. Let's go down here to the churchyard, and we'll continue with Nagash. Blue's hiding in his castle. He knows that Orange is coming. And here comes Orange. See if he can get there in one move. Nope, not quite, but hey. While he's doing that, I'm going here. So that's fortuitous for us. Just a gate up here. Okay, well, I don't want to go that way. I want to pick up whatever I can up here and continue to uncover the map, which is one of my goals. We were able to destroy these zombies, but we took quite a big hit. Perfect. One of the things I mentioned about my hand-to-hand combat units, I do like the World Explorers to have decent movement on land. Basic logistics gives him increased movement points overall, so let's pick that one up. So he's picked up a couple items in the last couple locations. One, he's got this breastplate, which increases his power skill, and then he's got this rib cage, which increases his power skill by 2. So we're going to swap those, so it gives him a total power of 10. And then the other items he has is he has this Knoll's Flail, which gives him +4 to his attack. He has Equestrian Gloves, which also increases his movement points. And then he also has this Winged Tabard, which increases his power skill as well. Having a power skill this high for a level 9 Death Knight is a little bit uncommon. Alright, and continuing on. So the last thing we wanted to pick up on this side was this Medusa store. So let's keep moving, head in that direction. Now let's see if this fight happens between orange. Ah, and there's another character. Yep, orange took out blue. Looks like I can't get here this turn, but I will get there next turn, so that's good. We did see another character. Let's see, right here. Okay. Oh, that was a pretty good one too. And it's a Necromancer at that. So that's a mixed bag of units he's got in there. Mixing all your unit types from different hero types doesn't always work so well, but there's some stuff in there that I don't really want to fight at this time. Certainly not with this character, so let's just continue. Alright, so those are all covered on this side. Let's see if you have anything to share. Yep, you shared some spells with me, and that's because you can see here with this skill level here, Basic Scholar. Basic Scholar allows Nagash to trade spells so that any hero he talks to is going to have all the same spells that Nagash has, which is what we just did there. And then Charna is going to just head back towards the other castle. And Agash is pretty much done on this side, but might as well go pick up any other skills we can over here. See if blue's going to come. Yep, it looks like it's going to be a fight between blue and orange over who gets to keep that castle. Orange ain't taking any guff, and that eliminates the blue player, so now it's just us, the orange player, and the brown player. I can see the orange player has put some units in here. Let's take this out. Let's not accept this result. I want to show you some of the spells and capabilities at this level that we have and see why we do what we do. First thing I'm going to hit these guys with is really see Death Ripple. So Death Ripple will do 85 points of damage to all the living units. That's going to be this guy, all of them. If you count them up, there's 2, 4, 6, 7. So 7 times 85, that's a decent amount of damage, about 600 points total. And that's a level 2 spell. Now I have a level 4 spell, which I could cast, which is Chain Lightning. And it will, of course, do a decent amount of damage, 490 points to whatever unit I focus that on, and then it will do kind of half of that, so 240 and then 120 and then 60 to the next subsequent 4 units. Implosion is one of the spells that we picked up at our Necropolis. It was the level 5. Now you can see it does a considerable amount of damage, over 1,000 points of damage to a single stack. So pretty nice to have. I just like to do some initial damage to the crew here, and so let's just Death Ripple them. You can see it reduced quite a few of everything, and then the rest is really just fodder, so let's just pick them up. I'm going to move in. Yeah, of course it's going to attack me, but there's not much that they can do to me. So a couple of spells I want to show you that I like to use. One is Animate. So we have Animate Dead. I can raise my undead creatures back to life. Now the vampire, why I like the vampire is, as you'll watch, I went from 67 to 70. So when he attacks living creatures, the golems were not living creatures. When he attacks living creatures, he resurrects any units that have died based on the amount of damage that I do to the stack. So he's just going to do what he needs to do. As you watch here, I will get my unit back, and so you can see much better than the result from having the computer do it. I suffered no losses whatsoever, and I raised some skeletons. So I am coming in here and I'm going to hold this place. Why do I want to hold this place? I'm pretty sure that orange is going to want its place back, and so I'm fully expecting him to come my way. And then I'll show you some tactics on how we like to defend against such a unit. And continue moving. Again, Charna is going to make his way to the portal that will get him up here quickly versus walking all the way up there. And there's Brown. Brown's pretty close to me. I have to be somewhat careful about that. There's Brown here. I don't want to fight Brown. So I do think he's tougher than me, so I'm going to move this way, and then maybe I'll go down this way. I'll let Brown alone and deal with him a little bit later. As a strategy, I like to try to have the computer players fight each other before I get involved, so that it's a little easier for me to come in and just sweep up whatever's left over. The one thing I'm doing in here, I normally wouldn't do upgrades, and I'm not, but if I have the ability to upgrade the Mage Tower to try to get some additional spells that could be helpful, I will. The one thing I will do, though, is chances are Orange is coming here quickly. I'm going to pick up some of the tougher units here just to have as extra fodder in the game. I'm going to get rid of these skeletons here and pick up something that I think is going to be a little bit better for that, and go for there. Let's just see how that does. Because I'm pretty sure Orange or somebody is going to come this way. As you can see here, I'm being attacked. I'm going to fight. I know that I'll have to run because there's no way that I can defeat her at this stage, but I can do some significant damage, and so why not? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I think what I want to do is try to protect my liches here, and so in order to do that, I'm going to have to make some room. I'm going to put my liches and all my archery types, if possible, in a spot to be protected. That works well. Let's go to the next creature. I got to re-situate some of these and go from here. Let's see how we do. I don't have blind. I really wish I had a blind spell, because this is going to be part of my problem right now, is this particular unit being ranged. If it hits me here, it's going to damage all my creatures around here. So that's a problem that I don't really want to deal with. So I need to do something about that. My liches are faster than theirs, so I will go before them. But it's not really a good position for me to be in. And my death ripple for Isra isn't that good. It's 50 points. I would also take damage on a couple units, and it would do 50, 50, 50, 50. So, 200 points of damage is not a ton. So I'm not sure. But I think what I will do is maybe curse these guys so that they do the minimum amount of damage possible, knowing that they're going to hit me. And I'm going to pause my first attack out the gate and hit here. So with your Power Lich, what happens is if I hit a square, he has a ranged attack, which is similar to this individual's in that it damages the hexes around it. So I'm going to attack here. It should damage both the centaurs and the magogs. And you can see it did that. I only killed 10 of these, and I killed about 25 centaurs. And perfect. Like I mentioned earlier, mixing unit types from all sorts of different towns isn't very good for their morale. And you can see here on their morale, it's low. It's low morale because they're too scared to be around all these vampires and death knights. So that works in our advantage. So let's continue. I could attack these dragons with my skeletons. The dragon takes up 2 squares, so it's not possible for him to just come and take that spot. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to continue to attack. All right. Next. He is going to walk his units through me. So what I'm going to do is put a little wall, let's see, of fire here. See what they think about that. I'm going to wait. And I knew that was going to happen. He's going to block. He's trying to block my liches. I'm not going to attack him with that yet. I want to attack with something that is undead, because his vampires will essentially resurrect other vampires if the thing it attacks back is a living creature, which I am not. So good enough. I'm going to continue to hold and see if we can't destroy those. Now that he's already broken past I'm going to go and destroy this as much as possible. And continue here as much as possible. Let's see. Again, I'm not a big spellcaster. I already know that I'm going to lose this fight, but I'm not going to leave until I'm ready to leave. And in so doing, what I want to do is try to eliminate as many of his creatures that I don't like out of the gate. But I do want to keep a bunch of these, so I may run away now. So I'm going to flee, and you can see he's accepting my surrender, which means I'll get to keep the units that I have left. And then I will immediately go back to my Necropolis and get him back. And he will just wait here for a couple rounds. What I wanted to show you is the battle between Septima and their character, just to highlight some strategies, because on the surface his army is considerably stronger than mine, but with the right type of unit mix like I have here, we can win, is what I think. So let's give it a go and see. Oh, don't want to go there yet. If I did that, you could say I'd pop out here. That's probably not a good place to be with orange here, but I'm just going to stand there and be ready. That's where I will go in another round, and let's just wait. All right, here he comes. And as you can see, if I let the computer do it, he's going to say that I was beaten. And if you look at the losses, he only lost half of his angels. So let's see. Yeah, as you can see, he's got 9 angels. And, so the computer had him win, which I'm not okay with. So let's fix that. Again, looking at our spells, here's what we have. So what I think I would like to do in the meantime, as I said, I have Death Ripple, I have Chain Lightning, I also have Implosion. I think initially I would like to use things like Chain Lightning to do damage across a number of areas and then go from there. He does still have some spells, but let's just go and see how we do. I have more spell points than him, so there's a better chance that we will do more damage to him than he will to us. So we wiped out more than half of his archers, and what I want to do is I'm going to fight his angels. I want to get those numbers down, but I'm just going to wait for a movement. I would like to use certain other creatures. I'm going to put my vampires up here. You can see the vampires killed 1 angel. There's no retaliation at all against any of these. I could use them, but I'm going to use my golems to block the entrance, forcing his units to go over these mines if they want in. And I'm just going to spread folks out a little bit. And I'm going to give an attack on these angels, though they will respond in kind. So in the first round, we were able to eliminate a number of his angels, which I knew he was going to resurrect. So you can see we've reduced quite a few, but that's okay. What we're going to do is hit him again with Chain Lightning. And by doing so, we eliminated his ballista. We've wiped out, again, his archers, and we haven't really lost a whole lot as a result. Our goal here is to block the entrances, make them struggle a bit to come in, and continue to reduce the angels here, which is what I want to do. You can see I've done that. What I want to do is continue to stay up here for now. Excellent. Now for the next part of the strategy. The next part of the strategy that I want to show you is using Counter-Strike. So the 2 units that I really care about keeping in this battle are the vampires. Like I said, that's my main strategy, and these Death Knights as the #1 supporting character. So what I want to do is take my Counter-Strike and put that on my vampires, because the computer tends to focus on regenerative creatures, so the computer will focus his attacks on me. And what Counter-Strike does is it allows me to have more than a single retaliation. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow more than just one enemy to get close to me, so I'm going to take those out. Weakness really doesn't matter to me. And let's just come down here so everybody can attack me. And go from there. Now, he's going to focus on my Dread Knights, but what I can do is, I still have quite a few rounds to go. Finish off these characters out here, and we will continue this fight here. He's only got 2 angels left. You can see I started with 70, I still have 70. Now's when he's going to focus his attacks on me, and you'll see the devastating power of Counter-Strike. So you see he's attacked me, I resurrected a few, he's got to try to get to me, I resurrected more, he attacks me, I resurrected more, and so you see I lost very little. The other spell that's very helpful for any necromancy is Animate Dead. So sure, I lost these Death Knights, but I just bring them back, not a problem, and continue fighting. Their numbers continue to go down while mine stay the same or go up. And so at the end of the day, I can already tell at this point in the game that the computer's lost. He will continue to attack me, I'll continue to counter-strike, wiping out his units, and there's not a whole lot that he can do about it. And then I will just go kill those, and as part of the animation, I'm just going to get more of these back because I'm about to get more of these back anyway. And I had 70 to begin with. I would like to get 70 back. I can simply animate more of these, and away we go. I would like to give them to him, and he ran away. I should have just finished the attack, killed him, but he ran, which means he can come back in one of his other towns. But we certainly wiped out all of his units. We lost very little at the end of the day, and there we go. And that is a strategy for your necromancers that's pretty effective against all unit types. Thanks for watching, and keep following and subscribe.